Welcome to Stripe. In this short video, we'd like to show you around Stripe's dashboard, which is the hub for managing your business on Stripe. First, we'll do a quick run-through of each of the different sections in the dashboard. After that, we'll dive into some of the meatier stuff and walk through how you'd go about some of the most common workflows. Stripe's dashboard is organized into 3 functional areas. You'll likely spend most of your time in the top left section, which is where you'll find important information about your payments, payouts, and customers. Payments is where you'll see all of the payments created by your business. These might include credit card payments, debit card payments, or alternative payment methods like Alipay or Ideal if your business supports them. This part of the dashboard also includes any disputes or chargebacks filed by your customers. We'll get into that more in a bit. Payouts is where you can track funds being paid out to your business. And customers is where you can keep track of your customers and their history with you. We'll dive into each of these in a little bit. The next section in the dashboard focuses on services that you might use depending on your business. Here's a quick overview. Radar is an integrated solution for automatic fraud protection. Subscriptions is for charging customers on a recurring basis, such as with a monthly package delivery or annual software subscription. Connect is for businesses that deal with multi-party payments, such as e-commerce platforms or marketplaces. And products is where you can choose to add more business data, like specific products or SKUs, directly into Stripe. The third section includes webhooks and APIs, which are useful for the developers at your company when integrating Stripe. We won't go deep into these sections during this video, but for some extra credit, feel free to check out our docs. There's also business settings. Here is where you can customize your account settings. So let's start with the Business tab. Here you can manage your public information, like the statement descriptor, which is the name your customers will see on their credit card statement. When choosing your descriptor, note that Stripe enforces a maximum of 22 characters. We also highly recommend setting the other information, since it can provide customers more information and context and help prevent disputes, as most disputes are usually caused by customers not recognizing a charge on their statement and not having an accurate descriptor to jog their memory. The Team tab enables you to invite new users to your Stripe account, remove existing users, and manage team members' permissions. We provide a few recommended permissions based on role, such as Administrator, which provides access to everything. Users can see API keys, change settings, invite new users, and so on. Developer, which provides access to API keys and product settings, but doesn't allow users to edit any team or bank account settings. Analyst, which allows users to edit and create transactions, but doesn't allow them to touch account settings. They can refund a payment or create a new transaction, but they can't change the bank account info for the business or access API keys. Support, which allows users to view all product-specific data, such as subscriptions plans, payment data, or charges marked as fraudulent in Radar, but prohibits them from editing settings or modifying rules. And View Only, which only allows users to view data. They can't refund payments or create new customers, and they can't modify account settings. They can, however, view and search through all the customer data in the account. On the Data tab, you can easily export reports that you might need for business or financial reporting. We provide a monthly report that you can download. It includes gross and net volume, as well as a record of all your Stripe fees. We also integrate with QuickBooks, so that you can easily import your data there if that's more your thing. You can export tab-relevant data directly from each of the Payments, Payouts, or Customers tabs of the dashboard, so you can filter and pivot table to your heart's content. We'll cover that later. Next, visit the Email Receipts tab if you plan to use Stripe's off-the-shelf email receipts, which is what your customers receive when they make a purchase from your business. Alternatively, your developers can help you make custom receipts if you want to maintain your own look and feel. Lastly, Security History provides a log of your teammates' activity and what actions were taken by people logged into the dashboard. For example, if I saw the bank account details were updated and I wanted to know who did this and when this change was made, I could find a log of it here. There's also a search bar at the top of the dashboard. It's a powerful search mechanism that can be used for both simple and advanced searches. You can perform basic searches by entering the value you're looking for in the search box. This could be the last 4 digits of a card number, a card brand, or part of an email address or domain. Use more than one search term to limit the returned records. For example, 4242/5/19 will only return records wherein the credit card's last 4 digits are 4242 and the card's expiration date is 5/19. The dashboard also supports advanced searches via filters. Whereas the basic searches look for matching values in the most logical fields, filtered terms will only be tested within the named field. So, a simple search for 5.00 could find that value anywhere. Amount:5.00 will only return records where the amount value is 5.00. Now that you know your way around the dashboard, let's focus on the first section again, payments, since this is likely where you'll be spending a lot of your time. I promise you, it's at least 15% more fun than it sounds. On the Payments tab, you'll see all of the most recent charges. The Filter button allows you to filter by the date of the transaction, the amount, the status, which can be successful, pending, or failed, whether or not the charge has been refunded or completed, or whether or not the payment is being disputed. For example, if a customer calls me saying their card failed, I can find it by either filtering where the status is failed. Here it is. That's their email address. Or just by searching for their email address in the search bar. You can export all charges, or if you filter first, you can export only what you filtered. Clicking on an individual charge will help you see more granular details about the transaction. At the top of each charge page, you will see something that looks like CH_ and a bunch of letters and numbers. We call this the unique charge ID. If you ever write into Stripe support about a charge, be sure to reference this charge ID, as it helps us immediately identify that exact charge and ensure we get on the same page quickly. For each charge, you can also easily issue a refund, either full or partial. For example, if a customer returns part of an order and you need to issue a partial refund, just click Partial Refund, enter the amount, and you're set. You'll then see an option to refund more if you need to at a later date. If you refund a payment, we'll deduct the funds from your Stripe balance or debit your bank account and initiate a refund to your customer. Your customer will receive the funds from a refund in their bank account approximately 5 to 10 business days after the date on which the refund was initiated. Note that refunds may appear in the form of a reversal, which means the original payment will drop off of your customer's bank statement and a separate credit is not issued. Additionally, if you suspect a charge is fraudulent, don't wait until it becomes a dispute or wait for the legitimate cardholder to initiate a chargeback. For example, you might see an unusually high dollar order with an international shipping address and rush order request. Simply click Refund and Report Fraud, and this will automatically refund the charge and report it to us so that we can improve our fraud detection systems in the future. The charge view also includes how much we charge to process the transaction. In other words, the Stripe fees for the charge. You can see here that this charge has metadata associated with it. Metadata is defined as data that provides information about other data, which is indeed very meta. It's essentially extra information that you might want to associate with a payment for your own benefit. In other words, it allows you to link your data systems with Stripe or make cross-referencing really simple. For example, metadata might be used for something like an internal order ID, the product name, a name of a customer service rep associated with the transaction, and so on. We highly recommend working with your engineering team to pass along metadata for each charge, as it's searchable within the dashboard and can help you out by unifying multiple internal systems you may use when your customer service team is dealing with a payment. Scrolling down to Card, under the AVS, or Address Verification System field, if you have street address or zip code checks turned on, you'll notice that here we specify whether these checks succeeded or failed for this charge. You'll also see the status for CVC checks. If a customer tells you that their card was declined, you can click into it, and at the top it will tell you the reason for being declined. If it says, code card declined, it means the bank declined the charge. We recommend asking your user to call their bank to approve the charge or asking the customer to try another credit card. If it says fraudulent, it means Stripe's machine learning algorithms have tagged the charge as having a high probability of fraud and have declined the charge. If you believe this charge was incorrectly flagged, perhaps this customer has purchased from you before, or you have some other reason to believe that they are a legitimate customer, you can mark as safe in the dashboard or API to allow the transaction to go through and improve our fraud systems for your account. If it says incorrect CVC or zip, you should ask your user to make sure their CVC number is correct and the address they've put down is the one that's on file with the bank. Your customer might know they've moved, but in the bank system, they might still live at home with mom and dad. Disputes is a sub-tab of payments. A dispute occurs when one of your customers questions a charge with their bank or credit card company. First and foremost, when there's a dispute, we always recommend getting in contact with the customer to understand more about why they filed a dispute. This email communication will also be helpful as part of your ultimate evidence submission process. If it does end up as a dispute, Stripe will provide you with the dispute details, such as the amount, the disputer, and reason. Stripe will also help you determine the right next steps for each type of dispute by providing you with best practices for how to respond and the types of evidence you should provide. Within the dispute section, click on the charge you'd like to respond to and view more information about why that charge has been disputed. Clicking the Respond to Dispute button will allow you to enter your evidence that the charge is legitimate. The evidence you'll want to submit will vary depending on the specific case, and Stripe will make recommendations based on the type of dispute. Weblogs, customer service emails, shipment tracking numbers and delivery confirmation, proof of prior refunds or replacement shipments, and so on can all be helpful as evidence. You'll also see that Stripe pre-populates the customer's email address or shipping address as part of the evidence submission. If you don't see this, then we recommend working with your engineers to pass this information over to Stripe. Balance is a sub-tab of payments. Here you'll be able to see your company's Stripe balance and when it'll be available for deposit, grouped by payment. You can also view any adjustments, such as refunds. Next, the Payouts tab. Here you can see upcoming payouts and see what's already been deposited in your company's bank account. If you click into a payout, you'll be able to see the associated charges and transactions bundled into a payout. You'll also be able to see the date when a payout arrived. As with payments, if you ever have a question around a payout, you'd reference the payout ID in your communication with us. It looks like PO_, and then a string of letters and numbers. On the Payouts sub-tab, you can see your payout history as well as filter or export the data. On the Settings sub-tab, you can update your bank account information and also customize how frequently payouts are made. Once you've made your first charges with Stripe, your first payout will be initiated and should post within 7 days. Afterward, payouts are made daily and are composed of the payments that were processed 2 business days prior. Quick note that this timing applies to U.S. businesses. If you're looking for payout schedules outside of the U.S., go to Stripe support to learn more. Lastly, the Customers tab. Here you'll be able to see a view of your customers and their history with you, including all their past payments and payment methods they've saved with your business, such as multiple credit cards or a bank account for ACH payments. Phew! Thanks for sticking with us. Well, hopefully you did stick with us and you haven't just conveniently jumped forward to this spot. Though if so, that is kind of impressive. Either way, we're here to help, so don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. And remember, you can always learn more or send us a note at support.stripe.com. Thanks for watching.